Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Now, something I've noticed about this particular era of boxing fans is that those who try to chase for greatness get criticised, while those who make every excuse in the book to not fight and not step up get all the praise. I've never quite understood that mentality, and I'll give you some examples. We can start off with Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez gets a lot of hate. Why? I have no idea, to be honest with you. He's a 4-weight world champion. Tried to become a 5-weight world champion. He came up short against Bivol, and suddenly he's what? He's a bum? He's no good? Canelo Alvarez, who is the very first in the history to become undisputed super middleweight world champion. This man has a resume outweighing most people in boxing, in history, really. But yet, at the same time, people will fanboy for, say, Jermall Charlo. What has Jermall Charlo done that's even close to Canelo Alvarez? What's he done? He's been trying to fight Magic Selecki. This is a guy who turned down a Canelo Alvarez fight only, 2-3 years ago. This is a man who hasn't unified, not once. He's a 2-weight world champion, granted. But at middleweight, he was given the belt. He never won the belt. He was given the belt. He hasn't fought a Triple G. He hasn't fought a Lara. He hasn't fought a Billy Joe Saunders or a Callum Smith or a Bivol. He hasn't fought any of these people. But you fanboy for him, but yet at the same time, you don't push for him to fight these other fights. It has to be Canelo, otherwise we'll let him do whatever he wants to do. Is that how it is? Same with Benavidez. What's Benavidez done other than lost the belt on 2 occasions, right? One of them for what? Putting gear up his nose, wasn't it? So why are you fanboying for Benavidez over Canelo? I don't understand that point. I don't get it. Canelo lost, okay, because he took a step too far. He tried, which is more than what your favourite fighters are doing. But yet you don't push your favourite fighters to do anything that's even remotely close to what Canelo's done. Other than you want your favourite fighter to fight Canelo. Why? Because if they come up short, oh well, he's lost to Canelo. Move on to Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is a guy who, he's only had 26 professional fights. 26, that's it. And 12 of those have been world title fights. 12. He's a 2-time unified world heavyweight champion. He's a guy who won the belts individually. Didn't go around and defeat one guy to become a unified champion. He did all of it one at a time. He collected the belts, defended the belts. He came up short against Andy Ruiz Jr. And I said before the fight, that's a dangerous fight for Anthony Joshua. Why? Because I know boxing. I know styles. And he got caught. It's a heavyweight division. Those who say, oh, well, he just lost to a fat Mexican. You don't know boxing. You just don't. Simple as that. And those who hate on Anthony Joshua, hating for what? Hating because your favourite fighter hasn't done what Anthony Joshua's done? Anthony Joshua has the best resume in the heavyweight division. The best. Does he have a Fury on his resume or a Wilder? No. But not from the want of trying. He tried to fight those guys. Tried. Offered them hundreds of millions. And they both turned it down. Not my opinion. Fact. I know Tyson Fury recently said how he tried to make the fight with Joshua on 6 occasions. No, he didn't. Not one offer came through from Tyson Fury. Not one. Now, as far as ability concerned, listen, you put Anthony Joshua in there with Tyson Fury right now, you have to say Tyson Fury's the favourite. But him being the favourite doesn't mean he's going to win. Those who say, well, Tyson Fury's the best of this era. What? So you want me to give Tyson Fury the credit of being the best of this era without fighting Anthony Joshua or Alexander Usyk, etc.? I'm sorry, but he doesn't get the win in my book over Anthony Joshua until he fights Joshua and defeats Joshua. Likewise, Joshua doesn't get the credit for defeating or being better than Tyson Fury unless he fights and defeats Tyson Fury. It's the same way. Tyson Fury has done fantastic. Yes, Tyson Fury will go down as a legend. No doubt. He's won every belt the heavyweight division has to offer. No doubt. Deontay Wilder. Has Deontay Wilder ever unified? Yet you want to fanboy for Wilder and criticise Joshua. Yet it was Wilder who turned down $100 million for 2 fights with Anthony Joshua, with the first fight being in the United States of America for undisputed. He didn't earn even close to $100 million for all 3 fights combined, fighting Tyson Fury. And that wasn't for undisputed. That wasn't even a unification. His resume is whack. It is. But yet you want to hate on Anthony Joshua because he's doing what your favourite fighters haven't done. He's only had 26 professional fights. Fury's had 33. Wilder's had, was it 45, 46? Again, it's not about who would win. It's about you are hating on a man who at least is trying. He is trying. He wasn't offered hundreds of millions to fight Tyson Fury and walked away. He wasn't offered hundreds of millions to fight Deontay Wilder and walked away. He was the one making the offers. He was. And no, we don't need to be talking about that fake $50 million offer that come from Wilder. We've already covered that 101 times. People hate on Terence Crawford. He's a 3-weight world champion. 3-weight. Former undisputed super lightweight champion of the world. And he's been chasing Errol Spence Jr. ever since he moved up to welterweight. Ever since. But yet, these Errol Spence fanboys want to hate on Terence Crawford. When Errol Spence has done nothing that is even close to what it is that Bud Crawford's done. Again, this is not about who would win between Bud and Spence. It's not about that. It's about the ridiculous fan base who just want to hate on Terence Crawford. What exactly are you hating on? And those who are hating, by the way, are Americans, correct? So you are hating on your own American, even though he's been doing what it is that you want and pretend to call for. Much like Canelo Alvarez has, much like Joshua has in that as well. You want them to fight the best guys. You want them to try and fight them. Well, Bud Crawford fits that category. He's been trying to fight Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. is the one who was talking about the wrong side of the street kind of stuff. How he's going to take the easy route. He said all that, not Crawford. Not Crawford. So why are you hating on him for? For what reason? It's absolutely ridiculous. It really is. People hate on, say, Vasyl Lomachenko. Vasyl Lomachenko, again, multi-weight world champion. Okay, sure, he come up short early on in his career, no doubt. He come up short against Teofimo Lopez as well. He started that fight way too late. But you know what? People take L's. It happens. Vasyl Lomachenko is a guy who's been making fighters quit. Top-rated fighters. All the time while trying to get other fights now as well. He's been wanting to fight a Tank Davis. He's been wanting to fight all these kind of guys. But yet you fanboy for Tank Davis, who has done not even a blip of what it is that Lomachenko's done. Gervonta Davis is a WBA regular world champion. Regular. This is a guy who has made every excuse in the book to not fight a Lomachenko, to not fight a Tevin Farmer, to not fight a Devin Haney, to not fight a Ryan Garcia, to not fight many people. But yet, you want to pay pay-per-view for this guy to fight who? Rolly bloody Romero? Come on. Cruz? I don't know where the priorities of boxing fans are nowadays. I don't get it. You say how you want the big fights. But yet, more often than not, people are fanboying for the fighter who doesn't want to give you what it is that you want. But yet you'll hate on the one who is trying to fight the best around. I don't understand all of it. People hate on, say, Dillian Whyte, for example. Is he world champion? No, he's not. But he's tried. What other heavyweight currently active has fought both Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua? Yet you want to hate on Dillian Whyte for what? Not fighting anybody? This is Dillian Whyte who only had 7 amateur fights. 7. And one of those was a victory over Anthony Joshua in the amateurs. This is a guy who's literally been learning on the job. Much like Joshua. Joshua has been learning on the job. He had, 46 amateur fights? 46. That's not many compared to most. Daniel Dubois had double the amount of fights as an amateur than Anthony Joshua, but people will say Daniel Dubois, oh, well, he's still learning. But Anthony Joshua's not. Dillian Whyte's not. Dillian Whyte, who has fought both Joshua and Fury, who has fought and defeated Joseph Parker, former world champion, who has fought and defeated twice Derek Chisora, who has fought and defeated the current WBC Bridgerweight world champion, Oscar Rivas. This is a guy who was trying to get the Deontay Wilder fight, even offered Wilder at the time would have been a career high payday for Wilder. He's trying to get these fights, but yet you want to hate on him. Why? For what reason? Is he the wrong colour? Is that what it is? Is he the wrong nationality? Some people say he's not British, he's Jamaican. But yet he is trying to get these kind of fights, isn't he? He's going to come up short. Of course he is. He lost to Povetkin. Yes, he did. He was battering Povetkin. He got caught. It's the heavyweight division. Povetkin has an elite resume of knockout wins. He got caught. Battered him in a rematch. People made excuses. Oh, Povetkin suddenly got old. Povetkin was coming off the hospital. But you see, people will make excuses. It doesn't matter what it is that certain people do. I'm tired of hearing people say how, well, we want the best to fight the best. We want people to try and challenge themselves. We want this, we want that. And when other people try and do it, you criticise them for it, unless he's your favourite fighter. If he's your favourite fighter, you don't criticise him. Isn't that weird? Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you on the next video.